The Russia-Ukraine war is getting more deadly. Heavy fighting rages in the Kyiv region as Russian forces advance ever closer to the capital. Only roads to the south remain open, and Kyiv is preparing to mount a relentless defense. Russian troops have just launched an airstrike on a military training ground outside Ukraine's western city of Lviv. An award-winning US journalist, identified as Brent Reynolds, is shot dead in Irpin, making the first foreign reporter killed since Russia's invasion. What do you make of this war? Let me show you more havoc the war has produced. Almost 2.7 million people have fled the war in Ukraine. 35 people dead, and more than 130 are injured when Russian troops launch airstrikes on a military training ground outside Ukraine's western city of Lviv. Do you think the climax of this war is near? My guess is the war has just begun. Hello and welcome to Rove News. I am Chris Ogbanje. On Sunday, 35 people were killed and more than 130 injured when Russian troops launched airstrikes on a military training ground near Ukraine's border with NATO member Poland. Don't forget the statement made by US officials on 13th January 2022. It says, if Ukraine were a NATO member, the alliance would be obligated to defend it against Russia and other adversaries. Also, in a statement made by the US Deputy Secretary of State, together, the United States and our NATO allies made it clear, we will not slam the door shut on NATO's open policy, a policy that has always been central to the NATO alliance. Take a look at this. Ukraine, with Russian troops on its borders, has been pressing for membership, while the Biden administration insists it will not allow Moscow to squash Ukraine's ambition to join NATO, yet has no immediate plans to help bring Ukraine into NATO. Amid Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Poland, a NATO member, has become a significant territory between the West and Ukraine. Bordering the war-torn country, Poland acts as a strategic ground for several nations, including the US, to supply military aid to Ukraine. It has also welcomed thousands of refugees fleeing the country. Now you need to see this. Close to the Poland border, an airstrike has just been launched by the Russian troops a few hours ago. The big question is this. Is the war stretching its ugly hands towards Poland, a NATO member? If that is true, then the war has just begun, for NATO has got an invitation to this war after all.